Here's your code, sir. That's what you get with skill wall ships, I suppose. Recon is fun until you look at your PR for the day. Yeah, sure. I mean, you can look at your stats, I guess. Oh, War Eagle. Hey, he came by and he couldn't hang out. That's unfortunate. Sure, I suppose. You could say that, but I don't know. I could care less about my personal rating. I mean, I used to care a lot about it. I care about my win rate, I guess. I just care about the fun or lack of fun that I have in the game. I think, to me, that's more important. I used to care a lot about stats, a lot. But I don't anymore as much. Thing is, once you move on to another game, the stats don't matter anymore, do they? What am I kidding? I'm never gonna move on to another game. Anyway, secondary booster, consumable reload. Got our air party booster, speed booster, and anti-fire flag. Not bad choices. Now, there's a couple other flag spots open, so for this ship, if you've got the extra space, I always like to run the anti-flood flag. Mainly because it's worthless, so I might as well just use them anyway. But there's always that, like, 1 chance in a million that it actually means that you would survive. So, that's fun. You just never know. 45 people hanging out right now. That's pretty awesome. Snow is coming down even harder out now. That kind of sucks. Okay, so what makes... I mean, I purposely picked to do the Republique after the Burgon because I wanted you guys to see the difference in playstyle. These are 300 and... I have to remember. I think they're 381 millimeter. And consult the wiki. Mech Raider, thanks for the follow. Or Mecha Rider. Thanks for the follow. Republique, 431mm. Yeah, because it's 380mm for the Burgon. So that extra 50mm actually is really important. The penetration characteristics formula for AP is you take that number of millimeter and you divide by 14.1. Alright? What am I... there we go. And you divide by 14.1. So 400... What did I say it was? 431? Yeah. So 431 divided by 14.1 is 30.5 millimeter armor. Why is that important? Because if you've got a cruiser that's got 25 millimeter armor at the bow or stern, it gets overpenned. So the shells go straight through and continue shoving their way in. So bow on Des Moines, LOL, you can overpen that. 406s do that too, by the way. But what makes this so special... Hey, Lieutenant Dan's Legs, thanks for the follow. Good to see you again, man. One of the nice things about the 431 is when we compare the 30mm to 300, I think it's 380 that Burgon has. Yeah. So compare that to 380 divided by 0.1, that's 26.9mm. So it can actually overmatch the 25mm. But it can't, but I think Des Moines is 27, so I think that's where the fun lies. But see, look, there's your overmatch. Double Citadel on the Des Moines. So where the Burgon is really good at clubbing broadside cruisers, the Republique is really good at clubbing cruisers that like to sit bow on, like the Des Moines. He's gonna die here. So it's really good at, and it's got the guns themselves have really good velocity. So they will the arcs are pretty flat, not as good as like Stalingrad, of course, but the arcs are pretty flat, which means that you can reliably hit cruisers at actually pretty long range that are trying to maneuver. Republic shells either all hit or miss. Yeah, all miss or all cluster perfectly. Yeah. Tedster sent in a replay, if I remember right, in this ship in ranked, and that was interesting because he got like this perfect dispersion on Yu Yang and just completely wrecked it from health. Yu Yang was upset. Now, we saw single fire torps go by, so that's going to be the Lightning, because that's a British destroyer gimmick. And standalone, you're exactly right. This is the one battleship as a cruiser that you really don't want to see. What do you mean upset when HE got nerfed? Now this is standard battle, which is an interesting. I didn't get a chance to talk about this, but with the cap on both sides here, there's no reason to go crazy, like hard on one flank or the other. You'll notice I see this happening so much. You get balled up opponents and teammates in relatively the same spot. Wargaming does what they call a heat map, and they will follow. They'll analyze where ships are going. Nice, super late extreme braking. And they'll try to follow where everybody likes to go. And I hope that they look at this map especially, and they realize that they've reworked Islands of Ice, but they're still getting people just camping at the same spots now, and it kind of doesn't get that much fun anymore. Now, important to note, we see War Eagle is broadsiding the Yamato, Kerr first, possibly Bismarck, depending on where he went. Okay. So he's got to be thinking about that. The Republique, 32mm armor all around, just like the Burgon, also can be citadeled quite handily from broadside, so you have to be careful not to give broadside. I like the original Islands of Ice. I feel like every time they change Islands of Ice, it gets worse. I'd really love to see them reinstitute the original back again. The original worked. It was an angled map. So you had a very large peninsula here with a whole bunch of little islands in between. It was basically like Destroyer's playground, right? And cruisers can go in there and die. And battleships, if they go in there, they just don't, right? You end up pulling Nazers everywhere, which is, I think, why they changed the mini-map, or changed the map. The middle was almost wide open. That was your battleship playground. And then the top corner here was a whole bunch of larger islands, which is kind of like the cruiser playground. What was neat about it was there was something for each ship class. And unfortunately, they changed it. Oh well. Yeah, this map is great for Henri's because of the flexibility and speed. Republique, just like the Burgon, also has the speed. And just like the Burgon, the Republique's got pretty darn good secondaries as well. You could always go meme-worthy and do crazy secondary spec on both ships. Have a lot of fun with it. You know, it's up to you. Floating, oh, that would be interesting, CrossFit Jesus. I like that idea. Add floating glaciers or icebergs that move around the map. Kind of like a storm or something. That would be kind of neat to see, right? Like, huh. Would be kind of fun. Kitakaze hasn't been spotted in a while. There's the Lightning. I would immediately turn to the Lightning. Although the Yamato, you know, would be fun to get rid of him. Do I think Burgon's secondary build is worth? Not in competitive, of course. But if you're looking for just sit back and have fun in a battleship, sure. I mean, it's basically a pre-nerf Alsace at tier 10 with extra goodies. Titanic scene with the Yamatos and you see, to me that could be fun. And yes, that would doom Nazer. But it could be a lot of fun. And you gotta be careful, you lost your Asashio in front of you. The Kronstadt is coming back to reinforce. The Kerr first is here too, so you have to be really careful not to overextend. The Worcester Felix still here is turning south now, showing a lot of broadside. I'm assuming he's not yet detected, otherwise he'd be being shot at. And I would look at the Kronstadt first, but he's turning away, so I suppose you don't have as good of a side shot on him. And look at this Kurfürst going broadside to get that shot on the Worcester. Just in time for your AP shells to hit. Full secondary build range, I want to say is like 11.6 when you add everything into it. It's either 11.6 or 12.3.
Torpedoes to port.
Oof. Worcester with Hydro takes the torps.
Torpedoes to port.
That's gonna be the gearing, and looks like maybe even the Kitakaze as well. Or maybe it's just the Kita. Yeah, that's probably one. Yeah, there's the Kita. $12.3. Well, I mean, you can look at the wiki here. Let's see, the base firing range of secondaries is 7.5 on the Burgon, and
Problem solved, sir.
do this. Let's see. Open up 2 tabs. Sorry, both of them back and forth because I suck at keeping numbers straight in my head here. 7.5 versus 8 kilometers. So the Republique secondaries actually go out a little bit farther than the Burgons. So Burgons is probably 11.6, I think.
The ship is on fire.
Hey, perfect timing. SAT coming in with that as well. But the nice thing about that, I suppose, is you can go back and forth with your captains, and you can slide them on each. You don't forget you can pick up the extra special captains in the arsenal, and the French one is really, really good for the en reef as well as these battleships because it boosts adrenaline rush. Hey Weeb, how's it going? We hit 50, guys. We got 50 people hanging out with 30 more minutes to go in our replay theater for the day. Well, yes. I mean, and that's what I mean, Dan. It's just, I think when we talk about competitive, it's probably not optimal of a build, but when we talk about just having fun and just YOLO charging things with a ship that kind of dares you to turn away, that's what I like about the Burgon, man. I can just be like, hey, I need secondary hits, hop on a secondary spec captain, go to the flank, find a cruiser or something like that that's kind of sitting there camping, turn on the speed boost, YOLO right into it, and just secondary the crap out of it. And what's it gonna do? Is it gonna turn away and run? Okay, fine. I'll AP when you turn. Is it gonna sit there and try to back up and bow in? Okay, fine. I'll switch to HE and melt you down. I mean, that's just what's fun about it. I don't know.
Engine boost deactivated.
French Ovechkin. Yeah, I need to use my Ovechkin on more things. I think I have him right now. American Ovechkin is on the Pensacola because I was using that for the clan versus clan rank test, which was 5 versus 5 tier 6, and that was just hilarious. Running SE on that thing. Plus, of course, the turret rotation improvement for Pensacola is very much necessary. Nice Citadel on the Kronstadt. Now it's interesting, you managed to pull the entire team back. This Hindenburg here, LOL. But you managed to pull the team back, which is funny. Now you're kind of coming back off. Kurfürst. Ovechkin on the Kid is a great pick, absolutely. Ovechkin on Russian destroyers is great. I think my dual citizen Ovechkin is on my Corrosive Void right now. Well, Dan, I will tell you, competitively, I took this guy out with Alpha Team Kraken on a day when, unfortunately, our typical battleship player Tedster was unavailable, and I kind of had fun with the Burgon because the concealment allows you to play it like an Henri. You get on the flank, all this AP comes in from almost nowhere. There's the kill. We knew that was coming. You know, and you can just collapse a flank so quickly with that. Pair it up with another Henri and pair it up with like a Zath or a Destroyer or something like that. And yeah. It doesn't play the typical battleship role that Yamato does, which is like the goalie or safety, where you just sit in the middle and watch what happens and then go and, you know, whatever. Look at that friendly team chatter. Look at this, guys. This is great. Yeah, that's true. Secondary rune. What was that? It was Nonser that did that as well, if you want to see that. We're gone, yeah. Yep. Well, Dan, I mean, the funny thing, you mentioned against good players it'll roast it. Yeah, sure. But I'll tell you what, we one of the games that we won, I played three actually in the Burgon. 1, 2, lost 1. One of them was against, I don't remember the clan off the top of my head, but it was definitely one of the high tier competitive clans. And we won because I was able to get in a position early on that they weren't expecting. And I was able to take advantage of a Henri that was in a kiting position, but showing too much side to me because he didn't expect me to be there that early. And I got some really, really, really spicy Citadel hits on him early. And he wasn't expecting. Because I also wasn't lit when I was shooting. LOL! I suppose the nicest thing about it though is it opens up another battleship that you could play, another playstyle that you could play in clan battles, so it's not the same thing over and over again. Nice job by that Kerfurst getting a double strike. Secondary hideout with creeping smoke. Oh, nice Citadel on the Musashi there. Now it's down to 3 versus 2. Hindenburg is finally starting to move up. That's exciting. And the Musashi's doing this. This is what you would expect from Musashi. Yes, you have to build the team around her, you have to build the strat around her, that sort of thing. It's not as flexible of a setup, I suppose, as a Yamato, in that you know what to expect and how to play it. But I've also found the Burgon to be incredibly flexible in clan battles because it's got the speed to be able to reposition quickly. Looking for Cheek Citadel. Oh, and he's obliging. Oh, triple sit, look at that. A little bit of a panic here by the Musashi. Now you just going hard over right. And he's firing HE! Did you see that? He was firing HE! He fired HE! Oh my god! Goodbye. Be gone with you. Go away. 287,000 damage. Is Flint worth it? Hell freaking yeah, Flint is worth it. The Flint is totally worth it. It's fun. Pop in IFHE, AFT, smoke. Just pop in there and laugh. Oh, and you've got the great torpedoes as well. Scree indeed. Oh my god. That was beautiful. Well done, Execution War Eagle. Now, can you get the Kraken? You know you want. Oh. He's firing HE at you. Sitting crap. He's turning away now. You gotta fire up a little bit. Will it hit? No, he's turning in. Sorry. Turning in. One overpen, of course, isn't going to be enough. 0 damage penetration, lulls. This. Maybe. Ricochet. There it is. Kraken. Flint is Atlanta with the smoke. Actually, Flint has better anti-air. Got more consistent anti-air at mid-range, and I actually prefer to take the Flint into Operation Hermes and stuff like that. Oh my god, War Eagle, thank you for this replay in the Republique. I don't know about you guys, this was a very entertaining replay. I feel like I'm not really providing much critique, but I don't know what there is to critique in that. Alright, so now we're going to do Prince